Right now we're out here, we're just checking our shots. The whole team's here. We're walking through with some of the guys that play some of the spots, and we're talking about different variations from practice to the tournament. Line now, the corner.
Yeah, it is a lot easier.
Because before you had to shoot over the pin to hit the corner. As we go to each bunker, we're looking at the different shots. So when I get to the corner, I'm trying to see if the corner is perfectly in line from practice. If I get out here, can I shoot my mirror? If I get out here, can I shoot the snake and put them in? How easy is my move to move up? Those are the things you're looking for out here. Then you're gonna look at your inside shots to see if I need to slow this side down, how good are my gaps? Where that guy's coming up to Dorito, can I shoot him? If he goes to move up the side, can I shoot him? That way if we lose bodies, we can still cross up and contain the side based on some of the plays we come out to. This might be in a couple of the plays getting out to the spot, so we got to come out and look how effective it could be during the games.
Field walking's one of the most important things when you come to a tournament. Make sure you walk both sides of the field, figure out all the lanes, figure out all the different possibilities, come up with your base game plans, and just be focused and get things done as quickly as possible.
X-ball is a repetitive game. Players will do the same things over and over. When scouting a team you're going to play, you'll want to assign a few jobs and make sure you have plenty of copies of the field map. First, you want to watch their breakouts. The coach needs to document the breakouts using maps including game numbers, the score, and the game time. You should also track movement and when players are eliminated. Second, pay attention to their squads. Most teams have 2 to 3 squads. Figure out where each squad goes, when they're on the field, and track their wins and losses. Third, you want to know the lanes and bunkers they're taking on the break. Using one field map, keep track of each bunker they take on the break. Label each breakout using the game number. For example, if during the first point they take both corners, the back center, the snake, and the first Dorito, we will place a number 1 under each bunker on the map. On the next point, we'll write a number 2 on the bunkers they take, etc., etc. Once the game is over, you will see the clusters and have a greater idea where your shooter should be laning. Last, pay attention to who they are eliminating on the break. If they're shooting out one corner the majority of the time, then you should not rely on plays that utilize that bunker.
Another small part of X-ball that we want to talk about is the team chants.
Come on!
These are something that everybody enjoys because it gives players an opportunity to rep where they're from, their team name, but more importantly, it gives a chance to bring the team all back in together, look everybody in the eyes, and get everybody refocused before the game.
The role of the coach is to be able to watch both sides of the field, to see his players and the other players, see what they're doing properly, what's working, what's not working, and try to make a successful game plan in order for his team to win points.
Coaching is something that starts weeks ahead of time, not just here at the event, but most of the jobs reflect here at the event. You've got to come together with your squads, you've got to put the right people out there, the right combination, the right speed, the right agility. You've got to be able to determine who's playing well and who's not playing well at the event. Doesn't matter if they were playing well last week or the week before that, it's here and now. You got to really be in charge of watching your players. You got to be able to control the game and manage it.
5 seconds before the point, the team should not be discussing the game plan. It is your job as a coach to make sure they know the game plan when they walk on the field.
So as a coach, you got to know when to use your timeouts. You want to either slow the momentum down to the other team or to save yourself as much time to get back on the scoreboard.
When you're down points, every second counts.
You don't want to use your timeouts just to fix a gun or to have a player just catch his breath. Rotate people in and have guns ready.
All right, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is momentum. When you come out and you set the tone, you get a little bit of momentum going, players can kind of ease into their role, you know, just be comfortable with doing their jobs and instead of trying to force moves and make things happen and get shot out. If your team can come out and get a few early points, then the team plays more relaxed, more confident. The flip side of that is if you get down points right away, the players start to lose a little confidence, maybe try and do things that they wouldn't normally do, try and rush plays, try and force things and make mistakes. Okay, you don't want to just start doing wild, crazy cowboy plays like Alex Frazier likes to come down on people for, and people just start running off and doing their own thing. He starts yelling, stop doing the cowboy stuff.
We're nice and smart. Let's keep control of the game. All right, these guys are making dumb mistakes.
Know that if you do your job, that your teammates are going to do their jobs too. And then once everybody gets a good attitude and has a good positive feeling for the game, guys will kind of just ease into what they're doing and just keep going out and continue to do the things that have brought them success to begin with. If you're the team that's losing momentum, you need to figure out what it is that you have to do immediately in order to break that team's momentum. Say that we're here on the snake side and we just can't seem to win the snake side. Every single game, the other team is blowing our snake side, shooting all the guys on the Dorito side in the back. The first thing before you can start to make positive moves is you need to shut them down where they're having success. Okay, so like I said, if they're breaking down the snake side, overload the guns over here, send somebody to the X and just cut this zone down. Give somebody a specific job to try and limit, where they're making their big moves. Okay, and then try and set something up to counter that, maybe on the other side, as your own offensive power play.
What we're going to talk about right now is bullying the corner. If you're hitting a shot consistently, stay on it until the other team stops going there. If you can get them to stop going to a certain corner, then it's going to change their game plans and change their entire strategy.
So as a coach, you need to worry about the buzzer and saving time. If you're playing a 2-on-5 and you're down a couple points, you need as much time as possible to make a comeback. Don't let the points drag out. You want to concede the point as fast as possible and get back out there with your 5 strong.
Designs and calls game plans for the match. You must be able to manage the clock effectively. Keep the team focused and under control. Identifies the opposing team's strategy and adjust accordingly.
A very big thing that most people don't take in consideration during X-Ball is your pit crew and what goes on in the pit. Generally, once the X-Ball game starts, it's just chaos. So a pit crew will actually make or break your team. You'll have probably 3 or 4 people in your pit crew. One person has to go out there and pick up pods in between each point. Another person can help getting air and filling up paint for the players' hoppers. You have one person that will wipe off all the players coming into the pit to make sure all the old hits are off them. And you'll have another person that's helping out coaching, either by holding the G count cards or by at least telling the coach where other players are.
Now we're talking about a during game situation, and that is playing for sudden death. You're not past the game time, you're leading up to it with like a minute and a half left, the tie is scored 6-6. So what you need to do at that point, instead of just, a lot of teams reverse squads, this squad goes in, the next squad goes in. At that point, knowing that you need to play for sudden death, you need to put in your best line. Whoever's playing the best, probably gonna play that line. If you go to sudden death, they're probably gonna play that too. So at that point, put in your best players. Now the way you really have to set this up is, you need 2 offensive players. They're gonna go down the field, try and make kills, try and win the game. The other 3 players need a different mentality. They're gonna stay back, defend, they're gonna shoot on the break, stay close to the base, get a basic spread. And if you lose your 2 offensive players, those 3 guys lock it down and you go to sudden death. A lot of teams just go right into it with the same mentality they always have. They lose the point, they don't have enough time to win another point to keep it tied to go to sudden death. So know this going into the last 2 minutes. Your coach needs to be aware of what you're playing for.
Sudden death is the very last point of the game. It's the most important point, obviously. You've worked this hard to get to this point, and now you're going to go to overtime. 1 point means it all. What you need to do is put your best players in playing at that time.
Sudden death is not a time to take big risks. Go with your most successful play. Stay away from the bunkers that you have not been able to make consistently during the match. But be patient and don't hesitate to make the critical move.